Hey guys, welcome to Copernicus Conan. I'm over in EverQuest 2 on the Wuoshi free trade server at the moment. Just going into the broker and picked up earnings from yesterday. So I'm now up to 2 gold, 7 silver, and 24 copper. Let's see, I think I want to go and see about starting the crafting stuff. So I don't really necessarily want to start doing any crafting, as I don't actually have any crafting materials on my person at this point. I've got them all in on my broker at the moment. But I do want to pick up the starter quest so that I have some crafting basically have it open to me to do some crafting. So I want to go ahead and just come over here. I think I'm going to come to this Ironforge Exchange area over here. And there's a Ironforge Exchange workshop right here. So you go in there. And we'll see what I want to do once I'm inside. There's also a broker in there. I see. So on this server, it appears that we do have the weight, because moving like this implies that I'm encumbered. Let's go over here and look. Let's see if I can see anything to that effect. Yes, speed negative 75%. All right. So what this means to me is that these big boxes need to go into the broker and the house vault and not into our bags. Let's move these items out of those bags then, or out of those boxes, and we will move those to the broker instead in a moment. All right, good to know that. I don't seem to have the guy over here I was hoping to have, who would start me out on this questing journey, or crafting, you should say. So, alright, first and foremost, let's stop in at the broker, going at snail speed, so that we can, look, we just sold 42 rough malachite for 21 silver during that interim right there. Let's go ahead and pick up the cash from that, and then we'll grab the things out of these boxes here. And, or no, not out of the boxes, I want to grab them out of the bags. And that way we can put the boxes into those slots instead. Okay, I've got to remove the bag, and then I can put in a box. Let's put in this box right here. Now we can toss these items back in, although I'm not going to necessarily toss them in that one. We're just going to put it in the first one that goes in. And then we'll go and price all of the things. I don't want to sell the bag. At least not yet. I might want to later, but not right now. Right now, I want to put the bag where the box was, right there. Okay. Let's see, we've got a few more, or a couple more boxes to deal with here. So, let's pick, I think that one up probably next. I was pressing Alt instead of Control, so it wasn't picking up everything. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Ah, wrong button. That's right. Okay, remove that, and I'm going to move these 3 items over here. And then we'll move this box in here, and move that bag right there. Alright, we've got one more box to grab. So, I'll take the smallest bag off of here that I have remaining. And then, obviously, remove that. And hopefully put this box in its place. There we are. Very good. Now, I don't think that I have any places this is going to stack. But we're just going to toss them into this box here for the moment. And then go try to make sure everything's pressed, which of course it isn't. All right, so blackened iron relic, let's put it on for 30 silver. We got a copper cluster. Let's put 1 gold on that. Diplomat's badge. It's not listed. Let's put 5 gold on it. And also, I want to sort it by listed or not, make sure we got everything there. We appear to. Okay, roots. Let's do a silver each. Okay, then we've got the falcon feather. And again, we're doing 3 silver here. Again, I'm not really necessarily trying to sell these items. If they sell, I'm cool with that. If they don't, I'm cool with that too. We're gonna do 1 silver on these guys. 10 clusters. Especially the crafting materials because, you know, I can always use those. There's no real need to sell them. Let's go 1 gold on the Sapswill too. And then Sapswill Swill. Let's do 1 gold per Sapswill Swill. It's a superior drink. Don't know if anybody's been wanted, but there we go. Alright. Oh. Didn't have all my bags open, turns out. Alright, so we got a few more things here. Toss these in, and do I have... Okay, yes. I do have a slot right there. Excellent. Alright, so... It would be good to get some more bags, but I think they're all exorbitantly expensive as of a few minutes ago when I looked, so we won't do that quite yet. Let us instead come and look here. We've got, let's see, 2 silver for the conch shell. And then we've got a duck feather. Let's put 6 silver on the duck feather, looks like. Okay, everything is priced. Plenty of room left to do more. I no longer have the slowness, you know, the encumberment on me. Let's go ahead and make sure that I don't have anybody I can talk to down here. It doesn't look like it. Now, where do I go on this server, I wonder, to start the crafting? This is a question. One thing I want to do is check my mailbox. The work orders and the rush orders are there. Let's go to Kino's Capital 2, or Kino's Capital Districts 2. And then we'll find out where we're at. Alright, I want to look around real quick. I think let's come in here. Okay, we got the trade skill tutorial guy right here. He says you can find harvests for making level 1 to 9 items in areas where level 1 to 9 adventurers go to hunt. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Let's try the crafting trainer here. Oh, there's a trade skill career counselor. That seems good. You show interest in the crafting trade. Good. We can always use talented artisans. I can help you get started. Would you be interested? Yes, please teach me. Absolutely. It's exactly what I wanted, honestly. All right. She says, there, you now have the knowledge required to begin crafting. Speak to the trade skill tutor for more detailed guidance on learning to craft. If you're interested in more information, return to me. You're ready to select a crafting specialty. I'm going to say, I'll start on that now. Excellent, right? I just realized I don't have my chat window up. I'm going to fix that real quick. There we are. Okay, so, it was in fact the right guy. I just hadn't talked to the right person first. I do have a couple of books that she just gave me, Artisan Essentials Volume 1 and Artisan Essentials Volume 2. Let's look at them. Artisan Essentials Volume 1 has all kinds of stuff. We're just going to scroll through it right now because it's a bunch of basic stuff. A lot of spells and things of that nature, but also some, like Christine's Simple Candelabra, for instance. We'll be making some of those in a little bit, I think. And then Volume 2 has a lot of the same kind of things, just different iterations of them, including some jewelry. Now, these are the essentials books. There are also going to be some advanced books that we'll be able to buy. But right now, we've got down the basics. Where shall I go? Badger Pelts for Digs is done. That's in the Kinos Province district. Let's sort first by current zone. I still have something I was working on in this particular zone. Neezer's Survey. Let's see. We got a couple of people to talk to right over here, so let's come this way. Looks like there's a quest blinking in here as well. Maybe I want to pick that up before I go anywhere else. If my map is correct. Alright, we go upstairs here. Oh, gosh, it's the Adorning and Tinkering Daily, which is super cool. Now, this is neat. You used to have to go to Butcher Block to choose whether you wanted Adorning or Tinkering, but it looks like we can assist with Tinkering, Transmuting, or Adorning here. Now, does that mean that I can do these quests successfully? I don't know if I can or not without having anything chosen in that regard. I'm not sure. I want to choose, probably I can transmute gear with the best of them whenever I do it. I think I'm not going to yet because I feel uncertain about whether I actually can do that yet or not. I can go ahead and work it, I suppose. That won't hurt anything. Let's see, do I have the transmuting skill? I think I do. Do have the transmuting skill, so that implies that I could actually do it. Let's put this, let's see. For now, let's put this right here. I may move it. All right, we're going to say I can transmute there with the best of them right. This is fantastic. It should just take a moment to transmute these discarded card boots. Can I say, sure thing, I'll mute the heck out of them. He says, well, get on with it then. No time like the present. I say, certainly. Now we got this quest offered. Let's accept it. He says, let's talk again when you're finished. I say, okay. Now we have this box here and we want to right click it and unpack it. And then we can transmute these boots. So it's a free way to get your transmuting up a little bit. And I'm actually going to wait till the end to claim all those things because it'll just be that much faster. It won't take long at all to get through this quest, and it'll help get the transmuting up so that we can transmute more things as we go along. Which I may even have some things in the bank right now that I want to transmute. I'm not 100% sure. For now, we have all of that done. We'll click through these buttons here. Now we can turn into him.
I greet you.
He says, hello again. Have you finished with your transmuting or with the transmuting? I say, yes, I have. There you go. And we've leveled all the way up to 3. He says, thank you. Feel free to stop by tomorrow if you're looking for more work. I might need more assistance by then. I say, you're welcome. And we accept this reward here.
Hello.
Now, I still have tinkering and adorning. Is this at the point, maybe, where we get to do all 3 of those things? It does appear to be. I'm going to look at my skills and see if I have anything in that regard. It looks like, okay. I don't see it on here. We have transmuting, but I don't see, I do see experimentation, but that's not helpful. What I'm looking for is adorning or tinkering, and I don't see it there, so I don't think that we have that yet. Probably have to go to Butcher Block Mountains to pick it up. Alright, so that in mind, let's come over to the crafting trainer because she has some books we can buy. I don't have a lot of money yet, so let's go ahead and get the ones that we're going to need. Advanced Artisan 1, 2, and 3. And then we'll go down, and we need Artisan Essentials running through, but I'm not going to buy that one because we'll get that as a reward when we do the quest line for crafting. We won't get, I don't think, the Advanced Artisan books, however, so those I'm going to scribe. And those give expert versions of all the spells and mastercrafted versions of all the weapons that were in the basic books there. Okay, onward. Let us come over here to this Filzer Fuzzle over here. And see what Filzer Puzzle has to say to those questions we were told to ask.
Did you know sometimes jewels can be found in the most surprising places?
I'm going to say luck is an amazing thing.
I'll say I found an amazing gem 17 years ago. I've been searching for another ever since.
I say 17 years is a long time. How about you take a break and answer some questions for me?
How about you do what you need to do, and I keep looking?
I say fair enough. Okay. Question 1. If you were to calibrate a Fizzo-Torque wrench for work in Lava Storm and then attempt precisely the same work in Everfrost, what difference of calibration would be needed?
Variable depended on precise temperature differences in the two regions. I'd say correct negative 0.034% at minimum.
I'm going to say question 2. What is the average measurement between king and queen on a spectromatic nest drifter?
In bolts, 29/50, roughly.
I say next question. If given the choice and a vote for the new Queen of Antonia, new Queen of Kinos, I am not reading well, would you cast your vote for a nut or a bolt?
Going to have to abstain.
I say question 4. Though not yet officially get proven, which theory concerning thermodynamic particle acceleration and its correlation to metaphysical tides is widely accepted?
No idea.
Question 5. Isn't Niedergrund amazing? Final question. The Benton particle is supposed to generate high amounts of what?
I think the answer is tension. Did I win? Did I win?
I say you'll have to wait for the results to come back first.
Ooh, I hope I win something. That was great fun. Thanks.
I say you're welcome. Now, let's go find the third guy we were told to talk to, the third person we were told to talk to, over here. I do want to stop at the mailbox real quick. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. That's a Gathering Obsession. I definitely want to pick that up. If you know what that is, then you know what I mean. But I'm going to come over here first to Remo Zig.
Go away!
I came all this way to ask you some questions.
And I came all the way up here to get away from folks like you asking me questions.
But this is important. It's for research.
Not dealing with you is important to me.
First question. If you were to calibrate a Fizzo-Torque wrench for work in Lava Storm and then attempt precisely the same work in Everfrost, what difference of calibration would be needed?
Leave me alone.
I say probably incorrect. Next question. What is the average measurement between king and queen on a spectromatic nest driller?
The answer is 29/50ths of a bolt. Now go.
A few more. If given the choice and a vote for the new Queen of Kinos, would you cast your vote for a nut or a bolt?
Nut. Now leave.
Though not officially yet proven, which theory concerning thermodynamic particle acceleration and its correlation to metaphysical tides is widely accepted?
I have no idea.
Isn't Niedergrund amazing?
Who?
Last question. The Benton particle is supposed to generate high amounts of what?
Is it tension? Is it tension? It's tension, right?
That's all. Thank you for your time.
Wait, how did I score?
You'll have to ask Niedergrund.
Who?
That's what everyone says. Alright, but before I go over to Niedergrund, I first want to come over here to the mailbox and pick up a Gathering Obsession. Before I forget. I've already forgotten to get it once. So let's grab it now. Leomongren. Greetings. I received word that you have taken an interest in harvesting. If so, I beg of you to help me with my son Claude. Please come visit him on the island of Mar. If my letter has reached you too late, please take this potion with my apologies. Let's receive gifts. And we got the elixir of Mora. So it lasts for 1 hour, and basically it increases bountiful harvest of caster by 5. That's basically your chance to get a bunch of extra stuff and also get rares. Increases gathering, foresting, mining, fishing, and trapping of caster by 15, and reduces harvest time for fishing, foresting, gathering, mining, and trapping by 0.5 seconds. Now, one thing I would also like is to have some gathering tools. I don't know that anybody will have made any yet, unfortunately. I do want to go over to the village of Shin and pick up a gathering obsession, the quest from Quo, as soon as possible, but let's come over and turn into Measure Groom right away. Don't let me forget, guys, to go get a gathering obsession. It's a very good thing to do as soon as you can, really. Leisure over here. Oh, hey, we have a tinkering merchant and a tinkering trader here, so it seems that we'll be able to pick up tinkering right there. Maybe. Let's see first. These are groomed. All right.
Did you gather the information?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm set up to record the data, but I need you to give it to me in a specific fashion. I'll say question 1, and you'll give me Drundo's answer, then Remo's answer, then Filzer's answer. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Question 1.
Leave. Very good.
All right. Question 2.
What the in?
Question 3.
I not doing.
All right. Question 4.
Thermo what? I know.
Therum what? I can't believe Drundo knew that one. Okay. Question 5.
Who.
Ouch. Okay. Question 6.
I is I.
A tautology. Interesting. So my answers are leave variable, what the in, I nut, going thermowatt, I know who I, is I. Wow, this is exciting stuff.
I guess so. And it says this is going to take me a long time to decipher. I may never figure it out. Sorry, I'm a bit excited. Listen, while I take care of this halflings. Halflings? He says that's what I thought. I say, okay then. All right, now we're going to pick this up. Of note, it does increase the power of the caster by 21 when we cast this. So we want to keep that in mind. It's a good thing to have. We don't have, well, we do have a neck piece on right now. Let's see how. We can do that out of combat. Whenever we activate it, it will increase the power. But it has to be equipped first. I wonder if I need to attune it. Surely not, but let's make sure. Okay, I don't. Okay, so, very good. I have it equipped. I should be able to click this and use it. Let's make sure this works. It doesn't work. Interesting. Let's see and go over here to it and see if we can right click and use it. Okay, that works. Alright, so for some reason, clicking from here is not currently working. Let's do that hotkey. And then we go. Actually, I should put the hotkey there. Save. Well, how interesting. Seems to be gone. Where did it go? Did it get destroyed somehow? Do you know that? Let's go back. Don't see any evidence of what happened to it in the chat. Oh, odd. You already have Noggin Sparks Wondrous Ticker Doodle found in inventory bank. You cannot have another. Okay, it is there. It's just grayed out. Found it. Oh no. Okay, so you can use it every 9 minutes. Let's in fact drag it back over here. Let's see if we can um make a macro actually. I think we go to O macros, click to edit, and let me see if I can recall how to do this. I want to use an item, so let's go use item, and then add a step, and we want to drag our item right there, and then click OK. Please enter a name for this macro, right? Sure. Power. Now we should click OK, and then we should be able. We would actually have to click it first, because we can't. I don't think we can use it from the bags as soon. Let's go here. Got this nice handy. Well, I thought I had this nice handy hot macro for it. Maybe I don't. Yeah, it appears that it didn't want to use um, the image for that. Let us pull the hotkey and drag this macro over here. Strange, but okay. I also want to look at the macro. So we're going to click on it. And let's see. We first want to equip the item. Equip item, add step. It's this one. I'm now back up there. Okay. So that should let us put it on and use it with one click of a button. Let's click OK. One more thing before I leave that. Yes, you can change the picture within limitations. I don't really know which one I want to use. I'm going to look for something that looks like power to it. Not sure. Not sure what that would be. Not seeing anything yet that just jumps out at me. The potion almost works. I may end up going with that. If I don't find something else. Yep, okay. I didn't see anything else that I loved. So let's pick the potion as our symbol for that. Click OK. And maybe I can remember what that is. Who knows? We'll see. X out of there. And then I would try it out, but I know that I recently used the Noggin Sparks Wonders Ticker Doodle. We've still got lots of time before we can use it again. So, too bad, so sad. Okay, we got that quest finished. I do want to go to Quo in at the Isle of Kamara, which is the village of Shin, specifically is where I want to go. I don't have anything else in this zone to turn in. I do in the province district have quite a bit to turn in, but I don't have anything here. So let's go pick up this quest from the spider guy over here. Squire Guard Williamson. They say nothing, actually. And I say I would like the right for the picking. That's for killing dark paw somethings. Well, it doesn't tell me in the quest description what we're supposed to get.
If you wish to serve the city's defenses, you've come to the right place. Here's a writ from the sergeant about some disturbances we've encountered. Please see to them and return to me once you complete this task. All hail Queen Antonia!
And I say, okay. All right. So, I think that's the only quest over here. Yes. All right. Now, let's head on to try to see what is available on this belt. We've got a lot of things that are available. We don't have the Isle of Mara. I don't see, thundering steps on here. We could try going to Antonica and then flying over. That would be the most obvious way to go. There's some interesting things that are on this map that really probably ought not to be. Okay, so Isle of Mar. To get there, we would have to go to Antonica and then run across, go through Thundering Steps, and take the there, I think, to the Isle of Mar. I believe. Do I want to do all that or no? I think I don't really right now, but at the same time, I do want to get that quest. That's unfortunate. Okay. I don't have Griffin access in Thundering Steps yet, obviously, so I wouldn't be able to fly there. Hey, Jones, how you doing? He says, how do you know which abilities to have on your hotbars? There's so many EQ2. There are. So you can open new hotbars by right-clicking, and then you go to open new hotbar. First option on the right-click, and that'll pull you up one, and then you can rearrange it however you want to. You want to right-click it, you make sure that it's, let's see, if we don't want it to be click-through. I don't think I have a click-through. I personally like to have the buttons showing, like the spinner buttons, and that also makes the thing easier to move like this. So you can move it wherever you want to, and you can actually adjust the sizes however you want as well. So if you like a different format like this, and you want to put it somewhere weird, you're welcome to do that. Let me fix this again. It's just straight out like this for now. And I'm going to close this hotbar. But you can open them and close them as you like. And on this server, you're absolutely going to be able to fit everything you want onto your hotbars because you have a total of like 10 of them. Yeah. So that would be my thought on that. When you get in the higher levels on live, then you do start having a problem and you have to prioritize based on what you're doing with it because there's a lot of extra things on there that don't have on here. But on here, 10 hot bars will be plenty for your needs. Ah, yes, I think I will go ahead and go to Antonica. And I guess try to make the run, which I think shouldn't be a problem. So let's go here. And maybe though, maybe I want to turn some of these things in first because I'm going to end up leveling some things otherwise. Looks like we need to go probably to Kinos Harbor and start there, turning in some stuff. Jones says, yeah. All right. Almost loaded in now. So close. There we are. Here's Tackle Master Morning here.
Hello.
She says, how goes the centipede hunt? I say, yeah, I've returned with the bait you requested.
Thank you.
And there's
So
level
I
12.
can keep my bait buckets filled for at least another day or two. Well done. Here's your reward, as promised.
Thank you, Morgan. We got Tyrant's Pact, increases strength and intelligence of group members by 9.4. That's an intel cancel spell, so I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to my hotbar settings, allow draggable, and I'm going to move this over with my maintained spells right there. I'm going to cancel. Actually, really, I'm going to go back and do that again, because I want to move this down here with my buffs. I want to put my buffs that are, we've got multiple people over here, and buffs that are intel canceled and group-wide over on the right side. All right, let's cancel that. Now we get to select, do we want the fishing spear or Mornay's pairing knot? Now, as luck would have it, we're not too far from a merchant. And since I don't want either of these things, I'm going to want to sell these things. So let's go and see which one is selling for the most. Come over here to our handy-dandy broker, and let's look. Let me see here. Let's go to the exam window and then drag this here. It didn't work on this one, interestingly. So, Moina's fishing spear. Never sure which things are going to work and which ones aren't on me. So nobody has that one. How about the parry knife? You know what? We're just going to type in Moina's and save the trouble. Neither one of them are listed. So I wonder, which one would I want more? Looks to me like the Moina's paring knife is available to a wider spectrum of individuals. So that seems like the better bet. It's the one that more people can have. And that way there'll be more people looking for something like that. All right. So let's go over here and throw that on the broker. Now, as noted, no one's selling it. So what do I want to sell it for? It's only a level 1 item, but it's a rarity. And if you look, you can see what it looks like on you. And it's a rather large implement. Very, very blood-stained knife we've got here for a paring knife. Large and blood-stained. Looks not much like a paring knife, in fact. All right. So somebody may want it just for the appearance. I'm going to go ahead and set the price at 5 gold on this. Jones says, what's your favorite EQ2 class? That is a very hard question for me to answer, honestly. I really actually like almost all of the classes and subclasses. I don't like scouts very much. I'm not a big scout person. I have a troubadour that, well, actually I have a troubadour that I played for quite a while. Of the scouts that I've played, probably the troubadour would be my favorite of them. But I'm not thrilled with any of them. I almost forgot to turn in all of my other quests here. Let's sort by current zone, and let's check mark all these guys so that they'll show up on the map and we can just go turn them in very easily. Did I see? Okay, I thought I saw a blinking feather, I guess. You must have, right? What in the world? Oh, okay, I see. It's just telling me that you have these things in those zones. All right, back up. But as for other things, I really like the Conjurer. Played a Guardian for a long time. I played a Mystic for a long time. If I absolutely, gun to my head had to answer that, I guess I would say probably Conjurer. Maybe I'd go with Conjurer. All right, Erwin Rohan says, your kindness is appreciated. These wolves are premium wares and will fetch a handsome price. I say, glad I can help with the cause. He says, it won't be long now before I can see her again. Thanks again, friend. I say, it was my pleasure. And for that, we get this canine tooth earring. Do I have earrings on right now? I don't seem to. I don't really want to throw that one on though. I would rather sell it. It's not worth enough to me right now to do that with. I could craft some of the same tier pretty easily. So I think I shan't. And instead, on we go to turn in these 2 quests up here. Let's see what else my journal says. Not completed all of our caustic tasks. So, no sense in having that turned on. We do need to deliver a letter to Country Forest Deep. He's going to be over here somewhere, I think. Right there? No. Maybe not. Where is Country Forest? I thought he was over there. Okay. We want to return to Digging Digs and also return to Marshall Surefoot here. I don't see anything blinking that I need to turn in. So, just going to head up here to the Eldar Grove area. And I'm also going to kind of keep this on so that I can see if we have any other quests that pop up. Jen says, so do you do raids or other in-game stuff? Okay, I used to, but I haven't in years. I used to, raid with disruption back on Majdu. But I'm not in quite alone yet. I think this guy's in the treehouse, possibly. Let's go find out. Surely not, though. Okay, he's over there. I was gonna say, I've hardly even been in the treehouse yet. Alright, Hunter, the Thar Forest Deep is here.
What do you need? I'm very busy.
I have a letter for you from Outlander Vaughn.
Yes, that's fine. I suppose it would be rude of me not to offer you anything in return. It's not much, but it's something.
Thanks. And so we have this Forest Deep hunting route. Except that, we also got 9 silver and 20 copper, I believe. And then onward we go. Jones says, nice, I've never done any in-game stuff in EQ2, really. I have no interest in doing it on live. I've mostly abandoned the live at this point. I do not have the latest expansion. I'm probably a couple of expansions behind because again, I'm really just not doing live right now. I've been doing Origins, and now I'm also branching into Wuoshi a little bit, which is what this one is, a pre-trade server that just opened up yesterday. So yeah, it's kind of, I'm not, I prefer the old style of play where things are more difficult and less grindy, right? So you don't just sit there and do the same zone 500 times a day. I just don't like doing that very much. Not my cup of tea. And there's just so many things that you can get caught up in saying, okay, I have to do my daily on all 13 of these characters every day. And it's just like trying to run through the dailies and keep up with everything. And then also, like I said, doing dungeons over and over again that are the same ones. Yeah, no thanks. All right, here's Marshal Surefoot.
Well met.
He says, stand stout. You'd make a fine deputy. And I say it was amazing. I defeated 4 forgotten guardians. He says, what bravery. You laughed in the face of death. You are a true protector of the forest realms. I shall seek you out when I recruit my force of Leatherfoot deputies. You will be relieved for now. I say farewell, Marshal Surefoot. And then we look these things over. And this is more like it. This is something that would actually be beneficial to me at this point. I'm going to go ahead and grab it, and then we'll see if I end up putting it on or not. I don't want to put it on right now because I might get something better from Termins or something else. Who knows? I don't feel that I need it at this moment, and I could get some coins for it if it comes down to it. Let's come in here and talk to Diggin' Diggs.
Well met.
He says, you're looking a mite shabby there. You look like you can use some repair work. My partner here, Steelguard, can mend any damaged piece of armor or weapons you might have, all for an outrageously low price. We live for the community. And I say, here's your bundle of badger pelts. He says, fine work. I must tell you, I just paid my merchant taxes. Afraid the coin ain't as heavy as I promised. Sorry, taxes, you know. I speak the truth. I say, I guess this is better than nothing. But first, let's check on something. On live, you can broker anywhere. I don't know if you can on here or not. Let's find out. Split the broker. No, broker anywhere feature is currently disabled. All right, let's select our item. This is not as good as what I have. It's available to all classes, so that's a plus. But I might want something else that's all fighters, all priests, and all scouts. I think I'm going to go with the Badger Pelt Arm Guard Gems. Accept that and say, I guess this is better than nothing. Alright. Now, I didn't see any other feathers waving around here. Let's see what else, if anything, we have here. Okay, so we don't have Ross Kalstad stuff completed, obviously, yet. So we can't turn that in. Which means probably we may as well head over here to North Kinos. And then what? Maybe we stop by the broker, see if we've made any more sales. I would like some bigger bags, possibly. And we can toss some of this stuff on as well. Let's go to District 2. Hey, Stroby, how you doing today? I saw you on Lawson. Was that what it was? Or Law something. I'll look in just a second what your name was in. But I saw that you were on. Lauren, okay. All right. We're going to head down. Let's see. Actually, yeah, I think I'll go to the broker. I also could destroy some of these items if I wanted to. I don't know if I want to. I do think I'm going to change where I have my recall point set. I had put it in South Pinos earlier because I felt like it would be a good idea to have it near my house. But North Pinos isn't far from my house, and I feel like I'll be more often going here where the crafting tables are. And I'll just set it to right here in front of the broker so it's easy enough to get here. So we click the set recall point. And then whenever I call home, this is where it'll call me to instead of South Pinos. You can change this as many times as you want. All right, let's check out the broker first and foremost. And throw on some items. Or at least one item. I'm not sure how many. I think I'll put this on, so I certainly don't need it. I'll hang on to that for the moment. I might put it on, not sure. I'll hang on to that. Let's put this badger pelt arm guards in there. Now, nobody is selling the Forest Deep hunting knife. It's a level 1 item. It's anybody can use it almost. Well, not anybody. All mages and all scouts, the berserker and the guardian. So the priests can't use it, and most of the fighters can't use it. So that was an incorrect statement there. All right, I'm going to set the price at 5 gold on it. Let's look at the appearance of it. Well, that doesn't look right. It's clear. Try that again. It is wrong. Huh, how can that be? It looks very much like the paring knife, does it not? Am I crazy or does it just look exactly the same? Let's try this again. Let's clear. And then it's exactly the same knife as far as I can go. Let's switch. Same thing. Okay. Interesting. Now for the badger pelt arm guards. See what those look like. There you go. Some badger pelt arm guards right there. All right. I think let's put yeah, you know what? Let's put 5 gold on those two. They're treasured. Somebody might want them. I haven't really got a good handle on what the economy here is like yet. For one thing, I don't think the economy has really settled down yet to find out, but we'll find out how it goes. Let's talk to Tatterhorn. I do want to try to get a pocket for. He doesn't have one.
Confound it. Where did I put that ledger? It must be around here somewhere.
Jones says, do I get all expansions if I buy the latest pet? Yeah, you know, as far as I know, you do. You used to. If you get the latest one, you'll get all of them. Definitely make sure it says so when you go to purchase it, but it should include everything if you get the latest one. Let's see here. You've got various merchants. What I really want, though, is one who will sell me a market for it. It used to be very simple because the guy in Willow Wood, on when the districts were a thing, that would just have it. It'd be very handy. Apparently, I haven't been into this bank yet. Cool. But as for in these parts, where do we get a market for it? It's a conundrum. Joan says, okay, thank you, no problem. Couple tailors, these guys won't have them for sure. I wonder, can we just go to a guard? You know, the thing is, I don't know if it's called a general merchant on here or not. Let's just try typing in merchant and see what we see. I think I tried this actually yesterday in the same area, and we don't have anybody that works. I also forgot to talk to the tinkerer guys over here. Doing great. Have yet to go to the village of Shin and talk to Crow either. That's all right. We'll get there. Let's run and make things a little speedier. Definitely need to invest in some Spirit of the Wolf tokens whenever I get high enough level. In fact, I may be. What am I? 12? I think I could use some low level speed tokens at this point. I believe. Okay. There we have the tinkering folks. Let's go to the no mentor. No, that's not the one. Let's try the tinkering trainer. There we are. He says, greetings. I have the honor of being one of the first master tinkerers in a long time. As you may know, tinkering is the process created by gnomes many centuries ago. It was used to make the clockworks that served in the great city of Acheron, as well as many devices that were used every day by tinkerers of old. I say, where can I learn the art of tinkering? This is, I'm so happy that you asked. As part of my duties as a master tinkerer, I also train people in the basics of the craft. I can teach you the skills that you will use and start you on your path to clockwork glory. I say, I'd love to learn the trade. He says, you're sure that you'd like to learn the secondary path of tinkering? I say, most certainly. He says, you now have the most rudimentary knowledge in tinkering. You may now start learning to craft gadgets, gizmos, and doohickeys of your own. Please speak to the tinkering merchant to pick up your blueprints. I say, okay, and we do thanks, and let's go. Tinkering merchant here. We have the apprentice blueprints 1. Let's grab those and spread them. Now, we're going to hope that it's possible to do both tinkering and transmuting on this server, but who knows? Tinkering and not transmuting. Everybody can do transmuting and learning. Making the abundance, what's it called? Who knows? It's been a minute. Yesterday, probably, since I last read it. Maybe today, who knows? Alright. So, let's head this way with these. Stroby says work meeting, work mode. Alright. Alright. That's Selwyn and his assistant. Just kind of looking around, trying to get my bearings, what I want to do right now. I'm also looking for a quest, but I don't want the ambassador, so I have no interest in changing my citizenship at this time. Could go over to Antonica from here and head toward Quo. Let's see what else we have as far as leveling goes. Various things I need to go places and do. That'll be a problem for another moment. There's also the point that I might want to go toward the Greater Kadark soon, because there's a heritage quest over there. And I can't remember what level you have to be to pick it up, but it's not very high level. The quest itself is in the teens. And so it's a pretty low level quest. I feel like you can pick it up at 13, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Let's come into the Tunis Province district here. I suppose I should have checked to see if there was an adornment merchant or an adorning merchant over there. Let's see what kind of merchants we've got here. Okay, let's see. Let's try Dortha. Dortha is there. See if she'll sell us some broker boards. There are some city merchants there. I'll check them in a minute. Oh, this is Mount Merchant. She's no good. Oh, here we go. General goods. It's more like. Oh, let's see what does she have? Yes, a market bulletin board. Brilliant. That's exactly what I want. So let's get one of those. And then we put that in the house. Got a quest over here though. Let's come check this area out. Pick this quest here up from Vita Sweeps. This is actually a very important quest. It opens up the ability to do a heritage quest. If you want to do heritage quests.
Get these tents in order and all these sweepings giving me blisters. It wouldn't be so bad if there weren't all these little rocks about.
I say, what little rocks?
These stones on the ground, of course. I guess I swept away most of the pebbles, but I did keep one strange blue rock that I found in the dust. If you agree to help me, I'll give you the precious stone as payment. Unfortunately, I'm short on coin.
I say, I'll help you out. I'm interested in the blue stone. And this is how we get a dusty blue stone, which is a prereq. She says, great. I need you to pick up the new broom. Don't worry, it's already paid for. I just haven't picked it up. Holly Wiskwind, a halfling lass outside the Coldwind Coast stables in the capital district, should have it ready for me. I say, I'll go over to the Coldwind Coast stables and look for her. Coldwind Coast stables ought to be... The stables that I'm thinking of are in South Kenos at the northern edge of it. So, let's come over here to this bell. Not this bell. This bell, maybe. And we want to go to South Kenos. And so, hopefully, we'll manage to load in any minute now. I do like the artwork between scenes or between zones. The loading screen artwork. Alright, here we are. And the stables in question are right up here to the, well, I guess to the east. Technically, it's north, but east from where I was. Here we have Tully Wiskwind right over here. Wiskwind, not Whisperwind. Two different things. They're not the same.
Good day to you, dearie. I make the most wonderful brooms. Strong bristles, stout handles, and quite stylish if you ask me. Great for sweeping off your doorstep or scaring off little critters.
I say Vita Sweeps asked me to pick up a broom for her. She wore an old one out.
Well, if anyone can wear out a broom, it's Vida. She sweeps so much you could eat off her spotless floor. Here's her new broom. I hope she uses it well.
I said, thank you. I know she'll put it right to work right away. Now we can get back over there very quickly just by running over to the docks and popping over to Kenos Harbor. Joan says, I just posted a question about the expansions in the forums. Hopefully someone can answer your question. I haven't been in the forums for ages. Yeah, feel ya. Buggajoy says, aloha. Aloha back at you. Let's travel within Kenos over to Kenos Harbor. And then we can turn in that quest. It's a pretty simple prereq, but it is one that I like to use to. I know a lot of people are just trying to level straight to the end game content, but that's not the way I like to do things. here she is standing over there. And I noticed they called her Vita, so she's actually Vita Sweeps.
So much to do, so little time. I must get these tents in order and all these sweepings giving me blisters. It wouldn't be so bad if there weren't all these little rocks about.
I say, I brought back the new broom from Tolly. She was at the stables, like you said.
Aye, I told you she was a bit flighty. Thank you for the broom, and here's the stone I promised. I hope it brings you good luck.
I say, what should I do with this blue stone?
I suppose that is up to you. Maybe you can take it to a mineral expert somewhere in the city.
I'll keep that in mind. Now we accept this, and then we're going to go over here and right-click on it, and examine it, and then we get the Dusty Bluestone quest. And that's a level 25 quest. We'll go ahead and accept it anyway. I don't mind having it in the bags. And that way we can update it as we run about hither on. Let's X this off. You see he's up here, Brooklyn Goldtooth. He used to be in, I don't recall if it was Greystone Yard. I think it might have been Greystone Yard. Joan says, I still remember my login and password. Nice. Alright. I also want to stop in at South Kinos at some point and get that market bulletin board put up in the house. I looked earlier for salesman crates to see if anyone had any, but they did not. It's too bad. It would be very useful because they hold a lot of things and people can come to your house and buy them. It saves them a lot of money, which matters a lot on a server like this. Alright, here we have Broken Goldtooth. Standing around doing a bit of magic to this rock as far as I can tell. He says, hey there, youngin'. Don't mind old Gruffin. I'm just inspecting these here mineral veins. This bedrock is going to be especially useful for building new homes for refugees and citizens alike. I say, if you don't mind, could you look over a stone I have here? He says, sure, I'm always happy to help out a fellow rock hound. I don't recognize this type of stone. And believe me, I know my rocks. It could be described in the books I have back home. If you would be willing to let me hold on to this for a little bit, I'll see what I can find for you. I say, yes, I can come by later and ask what you have found out. This is great. I'll go check it out right after I finish up work here. Oh, I have to collect those rock samples out in Thundering Steps. I forgot all about that. Could you do me a favor and collect those samples for me while I study this one of yours, or this stone of yours? I'll even pay you some coin for the extra work. I say, I suppose I could do that to help you out. He says, you young people are all so helpful around here. It's good to see that from the younger generations, you know. Be careful when you go out to the steps. That place can be mighty dangerous for young adventurers. Don't go rushing out there if you're not ready. Be sure to get enough adventurer experience first. I say, I'll put the samples for you. Alright, so there was that. Now, I won't have that showing in my helper window right. What I will do is, I think really, ultimately I want to go to South Kinos and put this market bulletin board into my house. So, let's go toward that. We can go in through this area. It's very strange to me, the layout of the districts after they merged them into one map. So it's the same in Freeport. I had trouble. I've always had trouble getting around Freeport. I actually have more trouble now than I did before because I did have the little sections memorized a little bit better than the bigger ones. You would think it wouldn't matter, but for some reason it does. Okay, let's go. I'm just going to basically head through this place to get over to South Kinos over there. Now, I wonder if I could hop over here. I don't know if it'll be any faster, really, to go this way into the bell than it would be to just run it, because it's going to take a second to log in anyway. I guess it would take a second either way, though. No, I wouldn't have the load time because there's no split between the two zones anymore. Oh, probably it would be better not to do this, but I'm going to do this anyway. Gonna go to travel within Kinos and then go to South Kinos. It would have been better to run it, definitely. That's a good. We shall do it this way anyway. Alright, up the stairs. And then we'll head over to the lion's main inn room, which is right near where we're at right now. On the other side here. I always forget if it's this row or the next one. I think it's this one. Yes, right here. Another thing I ought to see is how many of the food and drink I have left. Come here, access it, and again, into the house. Also, if you have salesman's crates in your house, be sure to keep your rent paid up or else people can't get in to buy your stuff. So it's good to pay in advance so that they can come pick up your, whatever you're selling at. Loading. Okay. Market bulletin board. I feel okay about putting that in here on the wall. I've had it here in the past. And it's a nice spot for it. There it is. Nice market bulletin board. And we can look at the broker from here. We can't buy stuff from here, but we can list stuff from here. So if I wanted to throw something from my bags onto here, I could. You can also, this is where you go to place your containers. If you're placing them in the house, if you have salesman crates. Let's go ahead and check and see if anyone has any yet on the broker. Just checked a little bit ago, so probably not. They're called sales displays. So you sort by that, and you can see if they are on. None are on. While we're at it, though, let's check and see if there are any nice bags at reasonable prices. We've got a foiled leather, small hip bag. None of these are large enough to be worthwhile. 8 slot for that. These are also 8 slots. We've got a pristine elm strong box. Those would most easily go in the house vault and the bank. Alright. Not looking very good over here for these things. We've got some tan leather backpacks. They're a gold piece, which is a little rich for my blood at the moment. I've only got 2 gold total, so I would only be able to buy 2 of 12 slaughters. And while that's not bad, because I currently have a bunch of 4 slaughters, I don't think I'm quite ready to spend that kind of money for it. Also want to see if there's anything I should put in the house. Doesn't look like it. I could put the elixir of Mora in my house vault, but then I'll probably forget where I put it. So I think I won't do that. I can put this in my house. I'm going to, because I don't really want to carry it around. Let's just stick it down here on this bottom shelf. No need for it. Now out we go. Feel a little bit better about having a market board in there. All right. Now, what more did I want to do here? Who knows? Got the ambassador over there. Not really interested in that at the moment. Probably next I want to head toward Clo to pick up a gathering obsession. But it is going to take a minute to get over there. So I'm not in that much of a hurry. Let's come here, go to the broker.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry.
And I don't have any sales there. I don't want to pick up the bags either. So I think I don't do anything there. Let's move on. The bell should be over here, and I suppose we'll take it to Antonica and make our way that direction. You can use the griffins in Antonica without doing quest for them. You can't in Kinos. So I'm gonna have to run across there. Let's go to Antonica too. There'll be a couple of quests right close that I can pick up. I'll go ahead and do that. We need Puckett's Patrol, I think. There's a general goods person right there. Guess I should have come out here. Don't know if they've got a market for it or not. Maybe. Now let's pick up this. This is Kino's guard locker box with the Tower Guard Regiment. Colvin Point Garrison. It is filled with supplies and administrative tomes for the garrison. Let's pick up the logbook that is inside. It says this is a leather-bound guard logbook. It has the emblem and name of the Kino's Guard Tower Guard Regiment on it. We open the logbook. The Colvin Point Garrison, Kino's Tower Guard Regiment, Captain Antillan C.O. You have taken a critical hit in our defenses. Both Guard Nimichin and Bolin have been slain in combat with a horde of gnolls wishing to claim the lighthouse. The gnolls managed to thieve a map of Kino's kept unclosed. I will be taking the bulk of the squad to give chase and retrieve the map. Until then, Corporal Peckett and a few guards will be on our only defense. You must wait for reinforcements to provide the local patrol. Create a militia of adventurers so that the patrol can be accomplished. Do not remove this logbook by order of the Kino's Guard. So, we put the logbook back and help the garrison. Let's accept this quest. This is a leather-bound guard logbook. It has the emblem and name of the Kino's Guard Tower Guard Regiment on it. Stop our inspection. And then we come over here to Corporal Peckett.
Hail, adventurer. I must warn you that Coldwind Point is not the safest place. Most of the garrison is on the march, and the gnolls have been sighted nearby. I cannot guarantee your safety.
I say, I hear we're in need of a militia.
With the bulk of the garrison marching after a gnoll raiding party, I am left in charge to defend this isle. Only a hired militia squad can provide us with the aid we seek.
I'm ready to march under your banner.
Then you must patrol this sector. Follow my notes to reach each patrol point. Once you have completed your rounds, you may return to me for your pay.
For Kinos. Alright. So you're supposed to follow the path very steadfast in order to get the updates. We've got a Darkpaw youth right there, and he will attack us if we go on. So let's go ahead and see if we can kill him. I didn't put on any of the new gear that I have, so I'm actually running around without a lot of gear in my slots at all, and certainly with terrible gear on overall. At some point, I'll buy some new stuff off the broker, I'm sure, but right now, I think I won't. In fact, I'm leaning toward putting the rest of what I have, we just got an update for the trailhead, on the broker, and then just buying what I want later on. So we got some follow the trail updates there. And now I'm going to divert myself from the trail to go over here and fall off of the Griffin Tower. Let's take the Griffin over to Steps Station. I'm trying to remember if we get to the Island Mara from the Kino stops or from the pre-portals. It doesn't matter too much. It's just one bell difference either way. Let's get a better view of this flight while we're at it. There we go. Now you guys can see better. To clear all of the buttons off of your screen and look at it like this, all you have to do is press F10 a couple of times. The first time will show you where all of your different windows are currently located, which is very useful if you've lost a window or something like that. And then the second time will clear all of the hotbars and all of the extraneous things off of your window so that you can get a good screen like this. And say if you wanted to do a screenshot or something like that, this would be a good way to do it. Over on the right is Black Row at this point. A little bit behind us, but same area. There are the scarecrows that we need to kill for one of the quests. We press F10 again and bring back all of the windows. Okay, so we're going to head up this path and we'll come to a gate. Now, some of you have seen me play EverQuest Legends, and you'll notice I mentioned that they don't have nearly as clear of zone lines over there as they do over here. I find that I prefer having a specific area to click on and you load in instead of simply run until you zone, because it's more obvious to me that the zone line is there. And so you see that here we have a door. It's pretty distinct. It says to the Thundering Steps. You have no doubt where you're going when you click on that door. So I prefer it this way, even in the even in like the Greater Feydark, where they do have zone lines like that in this game, it'll still have at least a signpost or something saying, hey, you're heading toward this. Let's talk to Jacques, I think.
Greetings.
He says, do you need any mail delivered to him? You can't trust just anyone with an important message. You need only the best. Me. Why, not many can survive the dangers of the Thundering Steps. Many are devoured by bears, slaughtered by centaurs, robbed by nobles, or flattened by giants. I say, and you survive all this to deliver the mail? He says, indeed. Why, nothing could deter me from my duties here. I fear nothing. Though, I have pressing business here at the moment, and could use a new assistant to deliver a few things for me. I say, well, I could use a job. He says, oh, wonderful. You look like a good runner. Welcome to the exciting world of professional mail delivery. Danger, excitement, angry dogs. You might even earn some money. Not as much as me, of course, but we all have to start somewhere. I say, whatever, just as long as you pay me to face all the danger for you. So, this is the level 20 quest. I'll go ahead and pick it up. He says, for your first delivery, please take this letter to a halfling named Blurton Blump. He can usually be found at the docks. It's from his cousin, Matsy. Now that you work for me, feel free to read any letters you deliver. I always do. It's just about the only fun to be found out here. After you've delivered it, bring me back any mail he has to send. I say, okay. EQ2 says if you buy the latest expansion, you will get all the previous expansions. Excellent. That was how it was last time I bought an expansion, but it has been a few years for me, so I wasn't 100% sure. Now this guy is a griffin tamer, and you can talk to him, and he'll basically tell you that you need to go and get a griffin egg and bring it back to him in order to use the griffins here. Personally, I'm not currently interested in doing that. I'm just trying to make my way across the zone so that I can go over to the Isle of Mara, ideally. It's a fairly safe run here compared to how it used to be. Not nearly as many aggro things along this path, so it really shouldn't be a big deal to get over there. Most of the things along this path are not aggro. You can tell if something's aggro if it has red around its name. These guys' names are red because they're much higher level than me, but they're not aggro. The only thing you have to watch out for along this area is like young bears and things like that. I don't think they're called young bears. They're just called bears of some kind. Also, while I'm going across here, I think I'll keep an eye out for a shiny that often spawns in this area. I'm going to turn off the quest for Tickets Patrol there. Now we're at the Dead River Docks. I don't want to go too far this way where the shiny probably is, because there are a lot of skeletons and some angry crabs over there as well that will very likely eat me if I do that. Again, level 12 is not really the level you want to be in to go adventuring here. Alright, we have here a turn in, and this is with Flirt and Lumber. There he is.
Bright blessings.
He says, oh, hey, could you maybe just run along and go bother someone else? Thanks a bunch. I say, yeah, whatever, I have a letter for you. He says, a letter from Nazi? Uh-oh, here we go again. Well, I guess you won't go bury it somewhere under a rock for me, so I suppose you'd better hand it over. Wonder what hideous banshee she's trying to set me up with now. The last one had a face like a minotaur with a skin condition, and her breath smelled like feet. Let's see here. She's given up on that at least. Yeah, well, that does explain her breath. It's just disgusting. Oh, no, not again. I say, what? He says, it looks like old Grandpa Blumble has gotten lost again. Crazy old fool. I don't want to go off searching for him now. Hey, you look like an adventurous sort. Do you think you could find him for me? I think I'm not going to right now, because I know where that sends me. And at level 12, I'm not going to. So, on we go. I'm not going to pick up that quest yet either. To make sure I don't need to mend. I don't. That's good. So I want to make my way over to the Isle of Mara. We got a voyage through Norath Bell there. It looks like we're pretty limited on the bells that we have available, but there's this one that goes to the Isle of Mara. And it pops us right into the village of Shin. Now, I don't really have anything over here to pick up as far as quests go. They're all a little higher level, either in crafting or in inventory. So, I'm just going to go and try to find Quill over there. There's a little pond that he swims around in. Run so we can make it a little faster. You see the purple feather there? Purple feather means heritage quests and signature quests and things of that ilk. He says there's nothing better than fishing. I'd like to be a professional harvester when I grow up. I say, harvesting's hard work, lad. Are you really sure you want to do that? He says, oh, I'm quite sure of it. I'm practicing hard already, but my family says I'm not big enough to go out yet to go out on my own. I say it can get pretty dangerous out there, all right, especially for those who aren't old enough, so old and tough. He says, do you harvest a lot? Can you help me learn? I say, I'd be happy to help you, although I can't smuggle you off this island without your family's permission, if that's what you're thinking. He says, well, I know I can't leave Mara yet, but I was thinking that if I could study all the kinds of materials that can be harvested, I could learn about what's out there and how to handle it. If you could bring me some samples, I'd be able to prepare for when I'm old enough to leave. I say, so you want me to go harvest things for you? Or accept this quest? He says, yeah, whenever you have time, of course. Meanwhile, I'll keep practicing on this fish. I say, very well, I'll be back when I can. Now, he wants a variety of items. It'll take a little while to get them all, but not as long as you want to think. Let's see. I thought that I gave the letter to Blurton to him. I'm quite sure that I did. But let's examine it. It says, Dear Blurton, how are you doing these days? I won't even bother trying to convince you to settle down with a nice halfling girl. I think I know better than that after my last attempt to set you up with that nice girl in the Baubleshire. I'm afraid word has spread about your antics, and you won't get such a warm reception on any future visits. Honestly, you really shouldn't say such rude things in gentle company. So she isn't exactly beautiful, and her teeth aren't perfect. There are plenty of worse things a girl could do than habitually bite her toenails. She doesn't look at all like a horse. I overheard her brothers talking last week, and I think it would be best if you kept away from Kinos entirely for a bit. Anyway, I'm writing to tell you that Grandpa Blumble seems to have gone and gotten lost again. Last time we found him asleep on the northern beach over in Thundering Steps. Could you possibly go find him, see that he hasn't fallen in a hole or something? I do hope he hasn't gotten himself into trouble. That's it. So let's put that away now. And actually, I think what I'll do is I will call to home. That'll put me right by the broker. I may list the remaining things that are in my bags on the broker at the moment. And I don't know, maybe I'll buy a few pieces of equipment to just have something in some slots at the very least. We'll make things go a little bit smoother. And then I may not do. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Looking for anything in particular today? Well,
let's have a look real quick. Origins has different attribute benefits than this one does. So it looks like we're going to be focusing on the intelligence and stamina probably, because it looks like this is modern day where all of these other things don't provide a buff for the class, only the main item, primary attribute. So stamina increases your maximum health by 3 per point of stamina and increases your chance to shrug off or completely resist the effects of a spell. And intelligence increases your damage by 29.79% and your maximum power by 3 per point of intelligence. So those are the only things that I will focus on as a wizard on this server. All right, let's go ahead over here to the broker and see if I want to buy anything in the moment. First, let's throw some of this gear onto the broker. Got a leather foot cap. It's a level 10 item. I'm going to put, let's see. I'm going to put 10 gold on it. Why not? And then we got a canine tooth. It doesn't do a whole lot. Nobody has one on. Let's do 5 gold on that. Oh, got off the broker like a fool. Now, let's come over here. And what we want to see is anything up to level 12, which is the level that I am, that we want it to give intelligence. And we want it to be usable by a wizard. I'm not super interested in what tier it is necessarily. Let's see. Let's just go with that and see what appears on the broker. We have 25 pages of stuff, so we can get a little bit more picky about what we're looking. In that case, let's go over here and see what I don't have anything of. I don't have any pants. That's probably not good. Let's go to advanced search, and we want to look for legs. Not there. Here. All right, legs. Now, okay. Now, I don't want the adornments. I see that people have been hard at work making some. Threadbare pantaloons give one of the primary attribute. Sable flame breeches is a little better. I don't want to spend a whole lot on these things because I don't have much to spend. So I could get these, well, 85 silver, or I could get these for 10 silver. This only gives me one primary attribute and 2 mitigation. This only gives 2 mitigation, 1 primary attribute, and 1 stamina. Not loving any of those choices. So I think I won't get that. We'll go for feet instead and see if we can find something more to my liking here. Looks like things are fairly expensive on the broker, and maybe I should keep that in mind. Really, triple burlap slippers for 15 platinum? That's crazy. Those are handcrafted, and it's not even a mastercrafted thing. That's a handcrafted thing. Don't want that. How about a cloak? Does anybody have a cloak? Remember, I only have 2 gold right now, so it's a tough situation. We do have a cloak, but it's a level 1 cloak. It doesn't give us a lot. And it's 1 gold. Alright, how about earrings? Can do some ears. Okay, there's some cheap earrings. They're not wonderful, and I can make those myself. So I'm thinking probably I'm going to skip out on all this stuff and just see what I can find for now. Prices are insane. Okay, in that case, let's go out to somewhere where we need to go quest. Let's first of all shut off all those extraneous things. We're sorted by level, and let's go down to Sobering Remedy, which means that we need to go to the peat bog, looks like. Alright, let's run so we can get there a little faster. And then travel within Kinos, we go to the peat bog, and we can do some quests there. There'll be some more quests to pick up there as well. The zoning on this server certainly does take a minute. So first of all, come pick up these quests over here. We've got Lieutenant Dawson.
You have a question? Please be brief. My mind is occupied at the moment.
What is your mind occupied with? She says, I'm not entirely sure yet. Strange things have been happening in the peat bog. The ecology here has taken a staggering turn, and that has attracted attention. I am trying to provide a strong presence here, but with no direct support from Kinos, that is tough. I just need to show Kinos that investing more people here is necessary. And we say, how do you plan on doing that? She says that is yet another thing I'm not quite certain of yet. I think I need time to think that over. There are enough mundane problems that I have very little time to think. Care to lend a hand? I say, sure, what can I do? She says you can take care of some of the recurring problems while I try to focus my mind elsewhere. The fungus men around here have been causing enough incidents to warrant action, and the ravenous bog slugs are becoming more active. Take some of them out for me, and it will give me the time needed to plan. What do you say? I say, sure, I can do it. She says, great. The fungus men can be found around the mushrooms that dot the landscape. The ravenous bog slugs can be found south of here. If you follow this path to where the sewer grate lies and then head south, heading east once you hit the water, then further south, you should find them. I say, all right. And then we accept this quest. She says, once you're done with that, return to me. I say, okay. Now we've got Curious Mintus here.
Hello.
He says, yes, you're here, I'm here. Why don't we talk, eh? No, thanks. I say, why are you so grumpy? He says, my research is coming to a standstill. I paid some young lad to go fetch me frogs, and he just took my money and left. Can you believe that? No, I have no frogs. I say, why do you need frogs? He says, I already told you. I need them for research. The frogs here secrete a fluid that tastes horrible. It helps them avoid being eaten. With the influx of rehabilitated ogres coming in, I'm trying to come up with an easy way to remind them not to eat the gnomes and halflings. I say, well, I could help you collect some frogs. He says, you think so? I need some of the glands inside them. I don't expect you to be able to recognize it, so just bring me the whole body. 10 of them, in fact. I say, I can do this. And we accept that quest. He says I should hope so. It isn't hard work. Come back quick. I say, all right. He says that, but you notice he's not exactly running out and doing it himself. All right. Now, let's get some bog slugs. And also, I want to go here, sort by current zone, and then select all these other things that we have. That'll put feathers on everybody's head. Also going to be gathering while I'm here, and it won't take very long for my bags to fill up. If therefore the gathering obsession, then they'll disappear instead of going into bags. So that'll give us a little bit more time. Okay, we got all the puny scavengers already that we need. Didn't take long. I want to grab some of this guy's power. And I should be using the absorb magic more often. Just a little lot of practice, to say the least. We got all of the things that wandering streamers and things wants. Ah. How about this guy? I don't need that one checked anymore because that's not here that we turn in. Got another natural garden back behind us there. I want to grab that probably. Looks like we're almost done with the tutorial for learning to harvest, which is cool. And we've got some AA from finding 2 logs pond there. I messed with the volume a little bit this morning. Hopefully everything is coming through okay too, because I did some changes to try to make it, it sounded like it was a little bit tinny, and so hopefully my changes have fixed that and not made things worse. Now, one thing I noticed is that it doesn't seem to be updating the quest helper as we complete things on there. Normally, I have it set to do that. But apparently, right now I don't. So that's something I probably need to get done here. I've decided to breathe in my drink a little bit instead of swallowing it. You would think at some point in my life, after all these years of survival, I would have learned how to drink, but I don't know. Some of us are slower than others, you know? We have these squirrel seedlings we need to kill as well. Let's go ahead and push this fishing rope, and then I'll knock those guys out. I also need to go over here and claim my 500 station pass. For this month, I don't want to take their offer home. There we are. And I'm up to a defeat. Nice. Let that guy have those mugberries. We got some bogberries as well. They're nice because we'll not only get updates to the quest, but also we have the fairy lore and legends that we can grab. Alright, oh, and the language, right. So the fabric patch is a quest starter for the language for the fairies. Except that, and we'll need to gather a bunch more of those. Looks like 7 of them total. Alright. Got 4 of 8 of the fairies that we need. Now, of course, we'll ultimately need a lot more than that for various other quests and also for, well, like I said, the lore and legend and the language quests. But for this one, we'll just need 2 more. Now, this character can understand the fairies, probably because she's Fae already. But we're going to do this language quest anyway. So we've got one of the prairie patches that we need. This is Farsi's trading requisition. Let's grab that and all sorts of that quest. It'll give us some stitched slippers at the end of it. We've got a grate over here, right there. It goes to Berman Snow. It's a nice way to sneak in if you're on the evil side, to get into Kudos. grab these natural garden and the murky ore over here. It occurs to me that I may not need this little window that you see to my right over there, that I've got a hot bar set up. I had that set up on Origins, because on that you have to continually update your hotbar for crafting. I don't suppose that'll probably be the case on here. I suspect that it'll auto-update in your crafting window on here, but I'm not 100% sure until I start crafting whether that's true or not. Warm up tools. Run 8 out of 10 of those guys, so this won't take too much longer. Oh, we also need some muck-toad legs, 1 of 6, so it will take longer than I had realized. Also need some silt suckers. Only 1 of them, it looks like. And this is for the Farsi's requisition that we just picked up. Which is why it wasn't updating on the previous muck toads that we were killing. Three out of 6 of that group. Alright. Almost out of power here because I've been failing to use Absorb Magic consistently. So, let's throw an Absorb Magic on this guy. It's a pretty good spell. Gets back to power fairly quickly. I also haven't been curing myself. Tell you what. Really worth it. Let's get these fish here. Got some sunfish, frog leg, and then 7 more frog legs. Nice. This will be the last of the fungus men that we need. But we have some misty stone here, which is nice. We need to get some lead clusters, and there's 1 of them that we need. Alright, cool. So we did finish the tutorial learning to harvest. Very nice. Also need to speak with Tenera, which is not in this the bog bears are going to keep on showing up because I have the lore and legend. So, unless I uncheck the lore and legend, they'll just keep on showing up as having, as being quest updates. And I also have the language, obviously. Let's get some of this murky all over there. Got some ravenous bog slugs that I need over there, looks like. Okay, let's pick up Rose Quest. But I do need to return to Furious here. I want to kill these bog slugs first, I think. Got a couple of them on set. I'm not terribly concerned. Mucus from that new treasure chest. We got the file and one to buckler. Only one more ravenous bog slug needed. And we'll gather this, or while I wait on the Univer Legion. Yeah. A bog fairy told me to grin and bear the beating. Strange thing to say, all things considered. Let's get this green one here. Maybe. It's too far away. Now it's not. And another treasure chest there. Somebody is right there, so I'm going to assume that they're gathering that misty stone and not go try to get it. We got some wolfhide boots here. And then we'll kill some fairies on our way back toward our turn-ins. And grab this fairy as well. And I'll try to remember to cast absorb magic periodically so that I can keep a little bit of power from me. Almost out of power here, but time to grab some more. These fairies are very vain. Oh, we got a fairy here, nice. Don't know that I have the fairy lore and legend running yet. There's one fairy here, let's examine it. Yes, we have to accept this quest. Now we'll start getting updates for fairies. Let's also examine this ear and begin to study it. Plenty more fairies running around this area here. We got a fairy heart from that. we're gonna get a ravenous bog slug, a bog slug as well. I'm going to wait on using my HO advancer because I won't have enough to cast the next spell if I use it yet. Now maybe I will. Maybe not. It did not work on the first cast. Oh well, let's go ahead and kill this guy. I didn't even realize I still had a fog prey to kill here. Thought I had finished it off already. A vial of fairy blood there. Let's give it a second to get a little bit of regen. Alright, good enough, things. Let's go ahead and look. All I'm eating and drinking is the basic stuff that came in the game with it. Looks like I've got the rations and the flasks of water. Probably soon I'm going to want to go do some crafting and at least make some food and drink, if nothing else. Okay, we got a fabric patch and another fairy ear. That's nice. 4 out of 7 of the fabric patches so far. Got some mercury ore over here. I'll stop and pick that up. Moving along in the gathering obsession as well. Probably should have gone ahead and done the quest to unlock the griffins over there in Thundering Steps. In the long run, it would have made things faster. But also, I probably would have died at least once in the attempt. Kind of okay with that, but nonetheless, didn't really feel like doing it just then. Yeah, need to go do our turn-ins for sure. I remember when I first started playing this game, I would get lost in the peat bog if I got in too deep. But normally, it's not happening at this point. Oh, the creature thing, nice. Hello, Molluswood the Pirate. How are you doing today? Kundalini is standing there. How interesting. What a name, huh? Says me, Copernicus. Alright, Curious Mintus says, did you get the frogs? I say, yes, I did. Says, perfect, thanks. So much nicer than that one who ran off earlier. Thank you. I say, you're welcome. Now, we can get a wooden chest, or we can get a belt pouch. Let's go for the belt pouch, I think, for now. We need to sell that later. Melissa would face this how I'm doing. Trying my best. I feel you. Definitely. Here we have Lieutenant Dawson. He says, have you killed the slugs and fungus men? I say, yes, I have. This is good. It's a relief to have those taken care of. This will allow us to expend resources in more important areas. Speaking of which, I've recently received strange reports. How'd you like to help me again? I say, sure, what can I do? He says, the body of water you passed earlier. I've had at least 2 reports of some sort of machine in that water. I've alerted the research teams, but they are busy elsewhere. In the meantime, it would be helpful if you could do 2 things for me. First, find the machine to verify it exists. And second, if it does exist, tag it with an arcanic beacon. I say, okay, I'll attach the beacon. Okay, let's accept our reward of 3 silver and 67 copper, and then accept this quest. He says that should help the research teams find it when they do get time. Thank you. I say, you're welcome. Okay, I'm going to shut off the lore and legend there, so there's no reason to have it. I also don't need the Parsi's direct trade skill requisition tabbed either. Ticked. Okay. We're going to head back toward the water. But I'm also looking for things to gather and whatnot on the moon. I saw somebody with a feather over there. It's another bug fairy. I'm going to turn off the patchwork tapestry quest. Then, we're going to try to find this machine in the water. Hasty Gorilla says, how's the new server going? Pretty populated? I would say it's definitely pretty populated. Yesterday when I was playing Queen's Colony, I was in the 9th instance of Queen's Colony. Most of the zones that I've gone into today, I've had to choose which instance of it to go in. So it's pretty populated. Malaswerte says, I tried to decide the vibe of the game. I have never played it. Are there also other players? Yes, there are definitely other players in the world doing questing. Absolutely. I'll just slash you for this. I don't know which version I'm in right now, but I'm in the peat bog. So we got 3 players in here right now. I think this is the first instance of the peat bog, so far as I know. But if you just slash you, it's always going to show 100, because that's the max that you can show. Well, I slash you all, sorry, slash you all. And that's server-wide. You get 300. You can get more specific and get a better idea of the server population. So, let's do slash who all. This one's a wizard. We'll try wizard. And there are 38 wizards on the server right now playing at this moment. Let's try conjurers. Slash who all, conjurer. And there are 54 conjurers running around. So that should give you an idea of what it looks like at the moment. Let's swim down in this water and go try to find the machine. There it is. Or let's say, are there cities with many players? It says yes, cities also have players. This machine is vibrating ever so slightly. We're going to attach the arcanic beacon. And it says before you attach the beacon, you hear a howl from nearby. And we are then attacked by the null machinist over here. He's not heroic, so he's pretty easy. I'm not even going to worry about him too much as far as chaining him or anything like that. We also got an update on the null lore and legend during that, which is nice. Now, I need to gather some more ears for that. And oh yeah, I didn't attach the arcanic beacon to it. Let's go back over to it because when we tried, we got attacked by the knoll. Let's come down here and attach the beacon. Now, I should return to Lieutenant Dawson. Indeed. Checking to see if there's anything I want to harvest around here. Lieutenant Dawson says, "Did you find the machine?" I say yes, I attached the beacon, but before that, I was attacked by a gnoll. He says, a gnoll? Things are worse here than I thought. Perhaps they... I still need your help. Can you stay? I say yes, I will help. He says, I am glad. A number of our research teams in the Keepbog were recently ambushed. Nobody was killed, thankfully, but their work has been lost. We've escorted the researchers to safety and left the ambush sites undisturbed. I would like you to go to each site and check for any clues that may tell us who did this. It would be easy to assume it was the Knolls, but I would like evidence to complement my gut feeling. I say, where are the ambush sites? He says the first is west from Tulog's Pond, which is south from the River Great. The second is east of the pond in the northeastern corner of the area there. Final ambush site is directly south of the second set. I say, I will return. We will accept the reward from last time, which is 4 silver and 8 copper, and then accept this quest. He says, thank you for your help. Be safe. I say, you're welcome, and thank you. Alright, with that, toward the danger. But first, let's come harvest this log over here. There's also a grate that leads to Antonica, right over to my right, along the wall. So you can, again, if you are an evil character trying to get into Kinos, that's one way to get in. You've got a shiny over there with left as well, which is nice. Okay. We got a scuffed shard of conjuration. This is the rare one of the scuffed shards, I think. Let's go ahead and add it. Thank you for the follow, Pasty Gorilla. Got some dense felled arbor over here. And misty stone as well. There's the Vermin's Night entrance right there. And let's go ahead and get these bog berries while we're in here. Got a Bloodsuper Watcher right there. And here we have the supplies. So we inspect right here. And it says the camp is currently in a major state of disarray. Materials and tools are spread about in the muck. A careful examination provides no clues as to who or what may have caused this. And then I'm gonna go south. Grab this Misty Stone. I guess I should have grabbed that fairy on the way too. Still can. Let's turn around and get it. Because I do still need some more fabric patches and also fairy bits. Alright, got those guys. Let's get this ravenous slug that's otherwise going to attack me. There's another Bloodseeker Watcher right there. Let's get these bog grays. And I'll steal a little bit of power from that one. Mala Suerte Pirate says, I see on your profile you're not an EverQuest beginner. I would like to ask why this MMORPG is written among others, like Warcraft, Guild Wars, etc. Yes, so I definitely prefer EverQuest 2 over any MMORPG that I've played. It's very versatile at this stage of the game. Now, this is not true necessarily for live at this point, but for Origins, it is. You can kind of do whatever you want to, and you still have guidelines, right? So there's a lot of quests. There are thousands of quests in EverQuest, and you can choose to do them, or you can choose not to do them. You can choose to go, just do crafting, for instance, if you want to. The crafting is better in this game than any crafting in any game that I've ever seen, personally. It's more interactive and fun. The housing, if you want to go and be a housing decorator, you can do that. People do amazing things with their houses, and some people, that's all they do in the game is just do housing. Some people are just crafters. Some people are just obviously adventurers. And then there's also collections that you can go and just gather collectibles, and some people like to do all of that. I apparently let the remains of the camp disappear here a second ago, but that's okay. It'll come back in a minute, probably. Let's come get this natural garden in the meanwhile and kill this ravenous bog slug. Also, on Origins, it's still very challenging, even at the lower levels. You have, you have some degree of challenge to it. So I definitely do like that aspect of it as well. And the quests are not, they're not just, they have some humor to them or something interesting about them. There's books that you can put in your house. You can read the books. You can actually write books in the game too. There's player-made books that you can write your own books and put it into the game. You can even sell it on the broker if you want to. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that it has going for it that you don't really see in the other MMORPGs. Live, as I said, is not the same as this because they kind of went a different direction with the game as time went on, and they made it more like World of Warcraft and things like that. But at this stage of the game, which is set around 2007, it's still very decent, very decent, very good. Laying among the scattered tools, there's a single severed gold paw. Whoever was the target of this ambush fought back. I'm gonna take the paw. And it says I've investigated the ambush site in the southern end. And now all we have to do is investigate the ambush site west of Two Logs Pond, which is south of the sewer gate. And the sewer grate, as noted, is right there. Right there. Almost to it, actually. There's that Blood Saber Watcher. You want to go south. Did I? Did I get that one already? I'll come and check. By way of harvesting nodes. Looks like for gathering obsession, all we still need is black coffee and habitus. Those both come from the bushes. So we have the Watcher doll right there. But I don't see anything else, so I suspect I already picked up one. I think that's the last one I did, isn't it? Possibly. Ah, Lurk Blister, that's no fun. This is named a very nasty little fellow. It's going to probably kill me. Not looking great. Definitely dead. But Chris Lister came upon me rather unexpectedly, let me say. Okay, try this again. A little bit of XP debt for that, and a little bit of damage to the armor. Dying in the game used to be a lot worse than it is now. Now it's very minimal consequences comparatively. When the game first came out, you would lose XP, and you'd also get damage to your gear, and you also would lose a shard of your soul. So you would have to go run and find your corpses in order to get that back. When you lost part of your soul, you would have detriments, so that you weren't doing as much damage or healing or whatever. You would suffer the consequences. You could lose up to 10 souls at a time. After that, it wouldn't count anymore. You lost a good percentage of your stats from that. You got a plain yellow butterfly. Let's collect that. And then come over here to this area. Doesn't look like we quite. Oh, there we go. Natural garden. Right, Two Logs Pond at the moment. Don't see anything to gather over here. There's some fish. May as well get those. The fish aren't as exciting really, because The only people who use the fish are provisioners, and normally they are not worth much money, and they're not used terribly often by provisioners. So not as worthwhile. All right, good enough for the moment, I think. Let's see that. Let's go this way and try to find the place where the supplies were left. It's right over here. Camp is currently in a major state of disarray. Material and tools are spread about in the muck. Careful examination provides no clues as to who or what might have caused this. Then we accept this no paw here, and let's examine it. It just says no paw, so that's what we shall. That's what we should bring back to Lieutenant Dawson. Stopping by the natural garden on the way. Looks like the bags are almost full. When they fill up, I'll call back to town and let's see things on the broker and things of that nature. Got a creature den over here. And misty stone as well. There are crafting tools that make the gathering go a little bit faster or increase your chance to, to harvest better. Fortunately, I already had those rares, so it didn't fill my bags up the rest of the way. I was afraid it might. But, no, all is well. Alright, Lieutenant Dawson says, have you examined all of the ambush sites? I say yes. At one, I found a no paw. There was nothing telling with the others. He says that's good. Well, it's bad, but it's good. You know what I mean. This means we have less to worry about. It seems the gnolls are on the move, probably because we found them. If our intelligence is correct, they're moving a number of machines out of the peat bog. And I don't know if this is a retreat or some movement for another advance, but we need to stop those machines. Can you help? I say yes, I can help. This is wonderful. Or she says wonderful. Their exit route seems to start in the southeastmost corner of the peat bog and move west from there. There should be 3 machines. Kill the gnolls protecting the machine, destroy the machine itself, and then move on to the next one. Our people will be along soon enough to take care of the remains. I say, I'll be back when this is done. Let's accept the reward for the last quest, which is 8 silver and 48 copper, and then accept this next quest here. Have room for 2 things now since the no paw is no longer in my bags. We've been here too recently. We've cleaned up all of the harvests, it looks like. All of them but the ones in the water, I guess. Alright. Oh, there's some stone over here. Nice. It can be a little bit difficult here trying to harvest because you have a lot of logs and things laying around. And so it's like, is this a harvest equivalent or no? Suppose I should probably kill those dog berries. Get the updates for those. See what level Lauren is up to there. Level 20 already, babies. Moving right along. Seems like you've been doing a bit of grinding, Stroby. You hanging out in Stormhold now? So you're in Antonica, so I'm assuming that's where you're headed. Try to grab some of that guy's power before I finish him off. Got a fabric patch, very nice. That finishes up that quest and levels us up to 13. And here's some more Mr. Stone over here. Ooh, and it has the garden. I need that. Definitely gotta get that coffee and cabbage. Instead, we got a jum and some raw white tea leaf. There's some coffee, very nice. Already doing that one right now on this roll with these bug berries here. Tons of them floating around to their young, which is good. Oh, I got Essence Shift. No, it's Vital Transfer. Increase it, of course. Essence Shift is a conjurer spell. Vital Transfer increases power of caster by 1.2 to 1.3 of caster's max power. And I bet, does it use, probably uses health to turn into power, I would imagine. As I said, you're not really a wizard player so far. Let's see. Yes. Exchanges health with power. As predicted. Let's examine this fairy essence. Now we've got another step of that done. Nice. And so I'm going to go to my hotbar settings and I'm going to move this down with my other power region thing then. Got a blue lotus petal. That's unfortunate because I think now my bags are probably not quite full. I still have room for one. Very nice. I was afraid that had finished me off on that. Ah, that's not what I was trying to do at all. The fairy lore and legends can take quite a while to finish, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. Let's get these roots here. There is also a mange who can spawn over here. It's quite nasty as well. Inventory full. Well, got a bronze cluster. Let's go ahead and call the home, and that'll take us right over to where there's a broker and a banker. So that'll be convenient. I think I've set it in North Keys now.
All right, here's all the goods listed in the city. If you find anything you want, let me know.
All right. There's Algernon.
Yes, hail to you as well. Let's just skip the pretend.
He's not especially polite. He always seems like he'd really rather not talk to you. Okay, now let's find things that actually go in here. I don't want to put in the materials first. I'm going to put in the other things first, which there was not very many of, but a few. And then let's see if this box, for instance, could hold any of these items. Probably it can. And there was something right there. Let it know, my feet. So when I stack anything, it can be stacked. And that'll keep the room on the quilter how busy move that so I don't have to worry about avoiding it. All right. Now, let's see here. So I want to try to put it into my pool boxes before I put into other boxes. This one is not full. The thing I know I don't have in there yet, I'm pretty sure is deer meat. I don't think I have that on the book. So let's throw that in. Let's do 20 copper on. Now we'll see if it can hold anything else in the bag. No such luck. All right, this one's almost full, so we'll try putting in some a separate alder. Okay, let's do 80 silver on this. And the pelts. It looks like maybe 8 silver would be fine for those. Farrier, there are none currently listed. Let's see what other kind of fairy parts we have that are listed. Huh, no fairy parts listed. That's odd. Well, let's go with 5 gold for it. Wolfhide boots. Looks like I'm the only one with those on, and I have the 5 gold. So let's replicate that. Violent Twined Buckler. Nobody's got that on. So, you know what? Let's do 5 gold on that too. Alright. Now, let's do the one that has 9 out of 12 next. Let's put the rares in here first. And then the white tea leaf. Raw white tea leaf. We're going to do 20 copper on. Bronze cluster. I'll do 10 silver on that. And the copper cluster, we'll do 50 silver on that. You know what I didn't do is try to roll these things into these ones that I just filled. So yeah, silly but true. Yeah, what did I do right before this one? I'm not sure. Maybe it was this one? Possibly. Let's try it. Just to make sure we do this one again. Alright, now that's 5 out of 12 filled here. So we'll fill it the rest of the way up, looks like. Let's go with 1 silver for the lead cluster. Now, hold on. I'm not quite sure that I don't have any on quality. Yeah, I don't. Oh, interesting. So 1 silver each for those. Rough malachite is next. Let's do 1 silver for those. Severed elm. Okay. Let's do 1 silver for those as well. I think I had sold out of severed elm yesterday. Okay. Jum. Yeah, let's go with 40 copper. Okay, that has all that stuff listed now. And we can come over here to the merchant and sell off some of these things. We've got a slug antenna, vial of fairy blood, vial of frog blood, vial of mucus. Let's hide not for sale. We got a blue lotus petal. If you look over that, it says it's a looted souvenir treasure. And what you can read that to mean is it's vendor trash. So sell that. You don't want to sell this, so we mark it not for sale. Pungent fungus spore, sell 3 of those as well. Now, we're not doing phenomenally regarding our bag space. So I'm going to look here again and see if we have any new stuff. First of all, I want to check for sales containers. So sales displays. There's one. It's 25 bid. I'm far away from being able to get that. So what should we? Let's see then. How about we try bags? Okay, those are all rawhide leather. Don't need those. The boiled leather are 8 slots. It's a little bit better. And it's 24 silver per. I could go ahead and get those for now. It would prevent me from having to come back and forth as often. So it wouldn't be the worst idea. But I'm not excited about it. This is pristine rawhide leather, so they're also 8 slots. See, the regular boiled leather ones are 8 slots, so you can get them cheaper than you can get the pristine rawhide. Something to note. Now here's tanned leather. This is a tanned leather sack. That's for throwing weapons. We're already up to a gold piece on them. So we're still a little high for what I'm going for. I only have 2 gold and 72 silver at the moment. So Not going to go for that. I think I may go ahead and get the boiled leather ones. At least, let's see, 5 of them to replace what I have currently. So, boiled leather rucksack it is. This fellow here is going to get a bit of my business. There we are. And so, what we want to do is we want to grab it and drag it down here to the first slot. That'll replace that. Then we're going to drag this down to the 4th slot and make that one. Then we want the 5th slot and the 6th slot. And then I want the slot that I want. All right. Now we'll open all this back up. And I'm going to put all of my sacks in the same bag. And I'm going to put them all in the bank so we have a little more room there. Or as many of them as I can, I think. Now, I'll show you guys another cool button on here. You see this button that says sort? It's very nice. Watch what it does. We sort of descending by name and type. Sticks all of our stuff together in the first possible slots that they can get in. You can customize your bags. So you can come over here, right-click on this, and go to bag options. And then you can choose what kind of things go into each bag and which kinds don't. So if you want to, for instance, to put everything related to your craft into the bag, you could do that and only have that would be all that would go in there, just like the meager harvesting bag already is. You can do that to any bag that you want to. You can also mark contents not for sale, and then they won't show up in that window. So, just a little tip there. Okay, let's close that. And then I'm going to come over to the banker and throw some of this stuff into the bank.
Welcome to the bank, citizen. How can I
have lots of room for bags. Let's toss some in here. I almost have bag slots full, and then I can start being more picky about what I want to, what kind of bags I want to keep. It looks like I don't have anything else in the bank at the moment. I'm not sure. But I'm going to try, I think, to transmute that neck piece there. Yes, everything else is empty as suspected. All right, we got the scrimshaw token. Let's see if we can transmute it. Sure can. Let's do it. Got a lapis lazuli fragment for that. We currently have no need for a lapis lazuli fragment. We can use those to make adornments. It's, it really makes everything pretty easy mode to stick adornments on things at this level, because this level wasn't intended for adornments, and so everything is kind of scaled differently. So let's see what people are selling these for. 5-star reach? Sure. The main reason I wanted to transmute it was just so that I got a little more transmuting skill. Let's go over here to the trade skill fellow. And in fact, we can check mark all of these to turn them in because they're in this area. Let's go to the trade skill tutorial guy first. He says, excellent work learning about harvesting. As a reward, allow me to offer you this box for storing harvested items. It's quite heavy, so I suggest you put it in your bank rather than carrying it, but it has plenty of storage room for harvests. I say thank you. Then he gives me the disassembled storage box. Now, this is the one that only holds harvests, but it holds quite a lot of harvests. If you look at this, it holds 36 slots. Very nice. Let's talk to him again and get his next quest. It says you've learned how to gather harvests, and whether or not you decide to learn a trade skill profession, you'll find harvesting can be a useful and profitable pastime. Are you interested in reviewing the crafting process? I say yes, please. He says, all right, let's learn about the crafting process itself. You'll need to have some harvested elm, tin, and roots in your bags. Shall I tell you a bit more about the crafting stations and your trade skill arts, or do you want to just get going? I say elm, tin, roots, check. And I'd like to learn more before I start, yes. He says there are a number of different crafting stations that can be used to make different items. For example, you would use a forge to make metal armor and a chemistry table to make potions. The other crafting stations are the sewing table, the woodworking table, the sage's engraved desk, the stove keg, and the jeweler's workbench. I say, and what skills will I need? He says each of the 9 trade skill professions has its own 6 trade skill arts. And there are also a couple of special arts that are used for recipes not related directly to one trade skill specialty. The appropriate arts will appear as buttons at the bottom of the crafting window when you start making an item. I say, so I need to use these trade skill arts while crafting? He says, that's right. If you mouse over or examine the arts in your book, you should see what each of them do. 3 will add progress, and 3 will add durability. When you're crafting, you will want to be sure you know which ones add progress and which ones add durability. If you're having trouble maintaining durability, use all your durability arts all the time. Or, to speed up progress, use the progress arts nonstop. I say, so what happens next? He says the first step in crafting anything is the recipe. The recipe you select determines what you will create. Open your recipe book from the main menu or press N to see yours. If you're new to crafting, it will be empty. But as you gain more recipes, they will be listed here, and you can use the search box at the top of the window to easily find recipe names. You can also create custom filters using the edit button. I say, once I find the recipe I want to make, what then? He says in this window, you would select the name of the recipe you wish to use and then click Create. You will need to be near a crafting station of the appropriate type. If you click on the crafting station directly, your recipe book will automatically filter to show you only the recipes you can make on that station. Once you click Create, you will move to the resource window, which shows you the list of ingredients that recipe requires. If you have all those, you can click Begin and crafting starts. I say, I think I'm ready to give it a try. He says, I'd like you to make a candelabra for practice. While you craft it, I'd like you to pay attention to the blue and green bars in the middle area. This shows you your progress, blue, and the durability, green, of the item you're creating. The goal is to increase your progress without losing too much durability. To create the item, you need to fill all 4 blue progress bars. If you lose at least 1 full bar of durability, you will not be able to do this unless you regain that durability again. That was a strange way to say that, but it's not always accurate. It does change the number of things you make sometimes, things like that too. It is safest to keep your durability near maximum, just in case of unexpected critical failures. I say, how do I stop losing durability then? He says that's where the reaction arts I mentioned come in. You can use these to add progress, blue, or durability, green. Mouse click these or press 1 through 6 on your keyboard. You can use these skills proactively throughout crafting to influence the outcome. For example, use skills that add durability if your durability is dropping. Every 4 seconds, a crafting round completes, and you will see numbers indicating your overall progress and durability loss or gain for that round above the crafting station. This is generally easier to see in third-person view. Use your mouse wheel to scroll out. It might be easier if I just try it out. Can I give it a try now? All right, let's accept the quest. He says, of course. It'll be easier to understand once you can see it in action. Here's a recipe book and some fuel. Describe the recipe book by finding it in your inventory and right-clicking it. Check that you have some elm, tin, and roots in your bags, and head over to the forge. Click on the forge to bring up your recipe list and select the recipe for the simple candelabra. I say thanks, here I go, and then we accept these items. Now, I already have Artisan Essentials Volume 1 from the other craft that we did, the other quest rather. He gave us 1 piece of basic coal to start, and he wants us to do a simple candelabra. Let's first and foremost go over to the bank and dump off this box there before I forget and end up going at snail speed somewhere out in the world after we leave here. Alright, banker it is, and we're going to put this in the shared bank. And that way, if I do throw some crafting materials into it, which I will eventually, it'll be shared with anyone that I make on this server. Not that I'll necessarily make anyone else, but I'll stick it there just in case I do. I also have the Artisan Essentials Volume 1 that I have no need for. Let's go ahead to the to the broker over here. And then we'll add this to what we have for sale. It shouldn't sell for much, if at all, because it's something you can get very, very easily. Let's go for the 5 silver that's the lowest on the board right now. All right, now, if I actually want to do a craft, which I could do just to show you guys what it's like real quick, we go here. He wanted a simple candelabra, so we can type in CAND, and that'll bring it up, and then we can look at it. It says it needs 10 elm roots and coal to make. So, let's see, 10 elm roots and coal. Let's take out our roots. Then we need 10 and elm. Here's elm. Let's grab it. And some tin. Sure. All right. There we go. We've got everything we need to make the pristine, simple candelabra. I could pull out all of my stuff. If I was planning to do more crafting right now, I would. But for now, I'm just going to take these things and go craft a simple candelabra on the forge, I think, but maybe not. I should have looked. Yes, it is the forge. Okay. So this is where your trade skill abilities are in your book. It seems like this is well advanced over Origins. It's moved along quite a ways, so I don't think that I'll need to use the book, but we'll see. Let's go to create, and then we're going to say begin. And so, let's see how they have it organized. We've got increased progress, and increased progress. That means that these 3 are the durability on this side. Currently, I haven't selected any, but you can kind of hear when to do it. I'm going to do progress just to make it go a little bit faster. Now, every one of these things has something you pay in order to gain that progress. So, for this one, we reduce durability in favor of progress. For this one, we reduce success chance in favor of progress. Now, you will very rarely run out of success chance, and so it's pretty safe to use that. Then for this one, it increases progress at the cost of mana. So you do have to pay attention to your mana. So that's something to keep in mind. We got the pristine, simple candelabra right there. Let's go return to the tutor with that candelabra. There he is. He's Jason Merrytail. And he says, moving on to the next lesson. You should be aware that there are some hazards associated with crafting. Why, back in the old days, it wasn't unusual to see piles of injured bodies beside the forge. We've managed to put slightly less dangerous forges since then, but no matter what craft you choose, there are still dangers to encounter. I say, like what? He says during the crafting process, you will sometimes see a warning icon appear in the area below the 4 progress bars. The warning icon will match one of your reaction art icons, and you will have a name indicating the type of danger. The crafter can correct these problems by ensuring the next reaction art they use matches the icon of the warning. Successfully doing so will avoid bad things occurring, such as loss of progress or durability, or even injury to the crafter, and may also result in unusually good things happening, such as progress or durability gain, a skill bonus, or even the discovery of a rare harvest. I say, I didn't see any of that while making the candelabra. Let's accept our 26 copper for the first quest, and then accept the second quest. He says, no, that was a particularly easy recipe. In most other cases, though, you have the chance of these warnings appearing. They're random, but will always occur at the beginning of a new crafting round. You have until the end of that 4-second round to counter the event. I'd like you to go to the jeweler's workbench now and create a lead bracelet. You will find the recipe in this book. Take care this time to watch out for warnings and counter them correctly. And don't forget, you can also use your arts to help out even when there is no warning showing. I say, I'll do my best. Then we'll grab this. We already have Artisan Essentials Book 2, Volume 2 again from another thing. And he's giving us a basic tool to work with. So, the next thing that we'll need to do on that is create a lead bracelet using the recipe that you gave me. Again, we could find which things we need to use for that by going to this book, the recipe book. You press in to go there. I'm not really sure why it's in, but that's what it is. All right. Let's throw these harvests that we pulled out back onto the broker. And just in case I missed something the first time, we don't want to destroy it. I'm going to try throwing them in the other boxes before the one that's open. So I'm not 100% convinced that I did that correctly last time. And then we'll put in the Artisan Essentials Volume 2 in there as well. Go up here, sort by listed, and let's start putting it in. These guys wanting 1 silver and 20 copper for theirs. I think that's fine. We'll do 1 silver and we'll match them. Okay, we got the roots. Let's do 1 silver for those. And then severed elm. It looks like probably 50 copper is good there. And 10 clusters are going to be 1 silver each. All right, now I'm going to have to take a bit of a break because it's 2 p.m. and I have yet to eat lunch. So I'm going to go ahead and log off for now. I will hopefully be back on later, and hopefully I'll see you all then if all goes well. If you're not following me yet, be sure to follow me and turn on notifications so that you can see the next time that I go live. Hopefully I'll see everybody then. But now, have a good lunch.